Back again with another video. Now in this video, I'll be speaking on my experience with the Muslims in prison, the Muslim card. Now if you're new to my channel, I speak about a lot of things, but I spent an earlier part of my adult life in and out these prisons, California prisons, CDC. I discharged the P number. So I know a little bit about doing time. Now I know people probably want to know, like, how is the Muslims? Is they like the other groups that we see in prison, like on TV and everything? Like how is it? Like, how are they? How do they function? How do they get in? So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Now, before I continue, well, first, let me talk about Islam, the religion, as it pertains to the convicts. See, the majority of people or convicts you meet, and even on the street, and I'm speaking to African Americans, the majority of people you meet is going to be up under Al-Islam. That's like basic general Islam. So the majority of people you meet, the cats, probably 7 out of 10, and I'm speaking to blacks that you meet as Muslim, is Al-Islam. And they got two distinctions, Sunni and Shia, but I think it's Sunni mostly out this way. Y'all let me know in the comments, but that's Al-Islam. Second, you may meet a few brothers from the Nation of Islam. Now, you know the Nation of Islam, they wear the bow ties, they got the suits. Minister Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, that's the Nation of Islam. You'll run into a few brothers that rock with that too as well. Not a whole lot, but a few. Then third, and this is mainly on the East Coast, you got Nation of the Gods of the Earth, 5%er, Circle 7, Nation of Islam. And these are all denominations of Islamic religion as it pertains to African Americans.
You also got the Moors, Noble Drew Ali, but a lot of them back east. Me personally, I never met one in prison, but you do got them. Some brothers subscribe to that.
So for the most part, well, the entire part, if you meet a brother black inside or outside, any Muslim is going to be one of them three. Now, the prison I'm speaking on is Soledad. Now, Soledad is one of the legendary prisons in California. We got a lot of them. And this took place in Soledad. And again, watch some of my videos. I made videos that I mentioned Soledad or whatever. Soledad was a level 2/level 3 yard at that time, where a lot of cats on their yard had been down for a while, and they was close within I believe 7 to 10 years of coming home, so they was on their yard. So this was Soledad. Now keep in mind, although the Muslims would have their own group or groups in prison, it is not a gang. See, that's the thing where people get it twisted between, or what is a prison gang. Like the Crips and Bloods, that's not a prison gang. It's a gang on the streets, but it's not a prison gang. It's a difference. So same as the Muslims, although a lot of times they have their own car or whatever, they're not a gang, you know. So it's a religion, and people take their religion serious. And with that in mind, because Muslim, anybody can be Muslim. Let's just say, like of a Arab brother come in, because California, as you know, whether you know or not, it go by race groupings. The main races, black, white, and Mexican. Everybody else is a other. So let's say if an Arab brother come in and he Muslim, he will, as far as classification is concerned, he's still a other, but he'll be able to fellowship with the Muslim. And this all depends, depending on, like, if the Muslim, if they embrace him and they like he with us, then he'll be with them. But it's a lot of politics. But I done seen it on this yard, instances where they definitely can fellowship, you know, because Islam is a religion. Again, it is not a gang. It's not a prison gang. It's, even though they got their card, but it's not a car in that sense. And there's another question I know a lot of people want to know, because you may have heard stories or whatever of, or talk of people joining the Muslims or trying to run up under the Muslims for protection or on some PC. Well, let me tell y'all my experience. Islam is a religion. They take their religion serious. You got to understand, you got people, brothers, that was born Muslim before they went to jail. They've been Muslim their whole life. That's all they know. Then you may have brothers who became Muslim in prison, and they've been studying it for years. They know that book, that Quran, and they take that serious. There ain't nothing to play with. So, from my experience, if you get exposed, you're going to get ousted. Now, I done seen with my own eyes somebody get balled up out of there for faking the funk. So, it ain't really nothing you can PC up under like that. Again, people take their religion serious. And also, with that being said, on this same yard, I done seen brothers hit the yard and be like, hey man, Islam is my faith. But if some of my comrades hit the yard, hey, y'all know what time it is. Meaning that they still stick with whatever group or gang they just built with the Muslims because it's their religion. So I done seen that there as well. But this is not to say that doesn't happen because I seen it. So cats for whatever reason may try to become Muslim to try to dodge something else. But again, if you get exposed, you getting ousted. So it ain't that, basically. Brothers take their religion serious. And you got some real serious people, man. And you got some brothers, and that don't even matter. They just take their religion serious. Just put it as that. But that does happen, you know what I mean? But not like that. You can't just join and for protection. I ain't never, nah. It ain't like that. Just like with any other group when it comes to that. You know, don't nobody want no weak fish. So, anyway. Now, am I Muslim? No, I'm not. I'm from Oakland, the Bay Area. Now, don't get me wrong. Islam is a religion. It was cats from the town that was Muslim. But me in particular, no, I wasn't. Now, I built with them brothers. I definitely did. And I definitely actually fasted at the Ramadan as well, as I tell y'all. But no, I'm not Muslim. But I learned a lot on that yard when it comes to Islam and how they get down and a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, there was a lot of meaningful people on that yard. Some Muslim, some not. But the Muslim card was thick on that yard. They definitely was. And it was brothers from all over that was Muslim. L.A. I met a lot of cats from L.A., different places, you know. And that's the thing. I was young. I paid attention, but I didn't, you know. Like, so they told me they hoods or whatever. I just remember if they was rather a Crip or a Blood back. You know, back then, you know, you a Crip, you a Blood, you a Blood. I didn't really, but I wish I would have paid more attention to their hoods right about now. But now, anyway, though, I met a lot of cats, man. I learned a lot of things. And my experience with the Muslim brothers was cool. Again, they strong, solid brothers. Definitely not to be taken lightly. And it's a mixture. Again, you got the nation, you know, they posture a different way. You're going to have al-Islam, which is the general Islam. The regular Muslims, like a lot of Muslims you see, ones on TV, a lot of these rappers, you know what I'm saying, they al-Islam. And you got some that's 5%ers, like Woo, that's 5%er. But again, like, is there an example of somebody who, okay, they doing time now, they don't want to be with the shit no more, and they want to, I mean, who's to say? Because it happens, but it's kind of like if you ain't taking it serious, you get exposed, you're going to get ousted. So it's not to say that don't happen, but the way it go, the way, you know, my experience, it ain't like that. Because again, you got some brothers that's Muslim, but that's just their faith. And if some of their comrades hit the yard, or even if they some rads already on the yard, that's what they rocking with. Like, they made that very clearly. You know, then you may hear some other talk like, hey, well, I mean, you're not a real Muslim then. If, you know, you still on that gang stuff, if you ain't, you know. So I just seen that the back and forth, you know what I mean? But for the most part, it it's just not like that, you know. That's not my experience, you know. You let me know in the comments if your experience was different. But for me, my experience, and again, it was brothers from all over. So you had Muslims that was Muslim, that's in the car, the grouping Muslims that was from all over. Then you had brothers that was Muslims, but they still, some of their rads hit the yard. They was still on that. So it was, you know, it was prison still. Prison is prison. But I met some good, upstanding, solid gentlemen, some men's up there, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Some brothers who been down for a minute, and they did some heavy things, man. And they was part of that era where it was really rocking and rolling, you know. So yeah, it was no playing them at all, you know. It was serious. They was cool, you know, and they was sharp. You understand? And that's how I even fasted in the first place, you know, because me, I do time. I'm always been a sharp brother. So, you know, even as a little boy, you know what I'm saying, I always been sharp. So even in prison, because prison is boring. So, but I did a lot of studying and all kind of stuff, and I built it with like-minded brothers, and a lot of them brothers happen to be Muslim. Not all though, not all instances, but a lot of times happen to be Muslim, and from all over, again, from all over the state. You know, and I remember during that time, because I used to do a lot of the pruno. I used to push a lot of pruno back then, man, on that yard, man, with nobody messing with 3 building, you know. But I used to be the pruno man, and you know, because jail sometimes, you know, it's kind of like seasonal. Like if you're doing time, you know, sometimes you may be heavy into the gambling, to the cars, the dominoes, the pruno, or whatever it is you partake in, the politics or whatever it is, and then it may be to where you ain't really, you know, you want to stress and peace, and you just, you know, you just chilling out, you know what I'm saying, you just hanging tough, you know. So those periods like that, and again, it ain't much to do, and we want to just get out so we can wiggle instead of just being up in a little thing. Man, let's do the Ramadan. Oh yeah, let's go, you know. And we did it, and you made a lot of good brothers. And plus, I already had brothers in my building already that was Muslim, you know what I'm saying, that I was already rocking with. Some that was Muslim car, some that was Oakland Town business car, you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, man, so y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Or if you went down, man, you let me know your experience with the Muslim car. If you a Muslim brother, or even if you was on that yard and you remember me, man, give me a shout out, man. You know, I know this was back in the day, you know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna say the date, you know, but it was a while back though. But yeah, man, this Bad News Brown breaking it down, man.